can get rid of this guy, then so here I can get at the Brave. The issue is well, now I guess we can get him and then we can protect Brave from the Rider's Bane by placing Athena here. Actually, technically speaking, Ymir would block it too. Or not Ymir, Sego would block it too. That. Oh, what happened? Did I get kicked off? What the hell? It's annoying. I don't know why that keeps happening, because we definitely didn't lose frames. Twitch being Twitch, I guess. Makes me feel a little bit conspiracy theorist. twist here too, because it's like, oh, I just got conveniently kicked off for no good reason, and look, the ad timer is reset. Your damage sucks, George. Let's pull back. We have one more turn. Let's heal. Get some more experience on Norn here. Body block thing again. Damn it, horse. Maybe it would be easier to just sit here, or sit here in the middle so you can just pull 3 of those guys. So like, just sitting here, I guess, pull all this, and then we jump the Rider's Bane with whoever. But I might place them too far away. This system is working as is, so maybe we can just stick with it. Set up for the last wave, I guess. Actually, it's... If I were to go in range of the cab... If I put it too far up to beat other people, at least not easily. Because we're kind of barely reaching as is sometimes here. Some turns. So I forget how to view. I guess I can't see my goal without going into the shop. Alright, we'll get that sorted out after then when we actually go shopping. So trying to consider how much we actually have budget for, even with the silver card. Okay then. Pretty good wolf bubble. Okay, I guess we're not feeding that to anyone. really not quite sure what I'm gonna do about Ymir here. It doesn't feel like his stats are that great, and he doesn't have that much room to grow, too. Oh damn, crit with the Iron Axe. Not too shabby. Trade targets here. Get the Pegasus with Ymir, and Horus can have the Wyvern. Still not quite 100% there. I just realized I need to also get a VIP card on this lane too, otherwise people won't actually be able to enter the shop. Bray Wyatt. There's so many things to get have grown in me, he chose not to. Hey, magic res on Norn. Still worried about the speed, but I mean, I guess we could give her a speed wing, so the magic is technically more valuable. Sort of the same with res, although only specifically against Garneth. So it's going to run me $32.50 every time I buy them entirely out. Which is like 15,000 plus. So now they're $12.50, so it's 16. Yeah, could afford that. We might actually need unironically, we need the goddess icons because we have so many units whose luck sucks. So like basically Frey is the only one out of the Prologue and Gaidens squad who has a decent luck set. Although Norns might be getting there. Yeah, I guess she's 13, although that still doesn't protect her from the enemy Thorons, which are 15. And even with that 12 res, she would definitely get one shot. They have 30 plus attack. I guess if we had Barrier up, Barrier Pure Water, that 32, yeah, that 32 attack one from before would still one-shot her because it would do 39. That's annoying. I don't think... I mean, we could buy more killer axes, but we're barely tapping into the ones we bought from Altea. Ymir is like a quarter of the way through one. I don't think we need to buy more. So yeah, I think we're done shopping. Yes, the Callus map. Which can spawn Ambush Swarm. That's quite possibly the funnest one in Shadow Dragon. Its attack is technically lower than, say, the Azure Moon maddening shenanigans, but also it can be really hard to get at the bishops in there after they spawn, so... Alright. I need to step away for 1 second, and then we'll get the rest of this sorted out, and we should have time to kill Michaelis, so be right back. Alright, sorry about that. So let's see. Yeah, what is the frequency of these? Return 7 through 14. Oh boy. Although I guess the bishops are 11 through 14. World of Dragons is under the impression that somehow 6 forts spawn 8 enemies? What? Let's see what the other wiki has to say. The other wiki says starting on turn 8 instead of 7. And it does do the Paladin Draco. Yeah, it must be a copy-paste error. Because it's supposed to add 2 Dracos, a Bishop, and a Horseman, but World of Dragons is like, yeah, it adds 2 Bishops and 2 Horsemen, too. Like, wait a second. There's not enough forts for that. So the one we really want to make sure we're walking is the left side of the right section here, so this one spawns the bishop. As long as we do that, it's pretty much, we can probably just warp Wolf in, and it's not like anything here can actually hurt him. Well, okay, I guess the Armor Slayer can. Since it's forged. Yeah, that would have 51 times. That would almost one round down. Actually, do any of the reinforcements spawn with Armor Slayers? Nope, but they do spawn with Rider's Banes. Probably have to warp in both Wolf and Sedgar if we're gonna do that. So we need to kill this guy. So, do we care about the shops here? Nah, not really. There's another copy of the Winged Spear, but like, we just got a free one from Etzel's that we haven't even touched, so there's no point in buying it. It's at... That spam Thoron because we can was fairly short-lived. It's not quite enough for a one round. So Sedgar or Wolfblood to protect himself, I guess, by hopefully killing him with the javelin. I guess on the very least, actually that guy does a double wolf. So 51 attack would only do 21. Actually, it'd do less than that. I forget how DSFP computes it, but we'll just assume that that it goes up to 52 and then weapon triangle. Well, actually, I guess weapon triangle will drop it to 48. If we're assuming it's not direct might decrease. So yeah, that'd be 18. That's actually... Or wait, on the 4-2, that'd be... So that'd be down to 17. That's actually pretty mild. Because I assumed we were getting double, but he's actually not. It does risk wearing him down though, so we want to get rid of it. And Sedgar with 25 defense on the forts, so he's tanking out there. There's barely anything here that can even scratch him, let alone do significant damage. Might have to consider actually making a detour to buy some silver lances. Because most of our lance users have reached a point where just they want silver, steel is just not gonna cut it. So we can probably sell the steel lances off. We can use them to fund more silver. don't need the VIP card here. Alright, we can sell some of the promotion items too. All they're doing is wasting inventory space or convoy space. Yeah, it's a few Master Seals. I may have overbought the Rudder's Banes. Because their accuracy is balls, and for using silver, it's like sort of similar damage output. Pretty much comes down to Rudder's Bane only really matters if it's one-shotting. Yeah, we have 1 billion watt hours. Yeah, we're definitely in a weird spot sword-wise where Athena mostly just wants to use a silver sword, and everyone else is not at C rank, so... I guess hard it is. Sure, you know what? What if how hard it is? Because how else are we gonna end up using all that? Yeah, we don't need the hammer as well on Ymir, so I guess we can maybe see if he gets enough sword rank to get to C. That seems extremely dubious, but who knows? probably gonna get a little weird in here too, because we need to kill this guy and then find a way to block here, so we're gonna have to clear some space while these guys are spamming Fortify. If I try to fast move, it doesn't want to let me move through the walls here. Which is very silly. So let's check that map too while we're at it. Yeah, only 17 listed. That's actually really funny. Bye-bye, Armor Slayer. So here it's probably just gonna end up one-rounding like half this room. Because they don't want to target him, and then he doesn't gain experience for it. Oh! The Killer Lance is going for Wolf. I'm not sure why it decided that was the best. Because it's not like the other lances aren't just losing all of the damage for attacking into a hand axe. I have no idea why that Killer Lance is like, alright, I'll attack Wolf. So these Draco's body blocking are pretty much gonna force the Paladins to attack Wolf if this keeps up. maybe not. I'm gonna do this. Damn it. I wanted to damage that guy so that he would force the double fortify at the start of the turn, so that we can maybe burst some stuff down, but we'll really drop the ball on that one. You thought you would be the one critting, but you were the one critted. These guys are also not getting healed enough from the double fortify. Sucks to be them. Those two hand axes went pretty fast. Okay. I'm not sure why Sedgar using a sword made that horseman change targets. I suppose because it allowed him to... No, he doesn't even threaten Athena. Like, it makes no sense. So what we could do is push it and try to kill Mikalas fast. That would stop the reinforcements. I think... It would make things easier for the team, but it would also make it so we miss out on a bunch of experience that the Gaiden units probably actually need. The reinforcements are also definitely a little bit spooky, so... The other wiki also says they... Oh wait, looking at the wrong... Okay. Ah, so yeah, apparently where the bishop spawns in actual FE1 is different. Had me confused for a second there. So Norn would have 100 hit with Thoron. How much is she doing with it? So that's be 26. Attack, so she'd only do 23. So he would definitely require some softening up, but I mean, I guess Wolf or Sedgar could easily do that for her. We have enough time that I don't think I need to rush so hard that we give Zane the kill. On the Fortify. Meanwhile, Marth going off on a journey. Setup for this shouldn't be too hard. Hello, Nuclear Mango. Oops, I guess I didn't realize we were in an ad break there. Hello, Nuclear Mango. Long time no see indeed. Athena, why? They keep doing this to me. Everyone's so likely to crit McCallus. I guess his luck is, like, bad, which carries over into the next game, too. Set up with Ray, because at least if he crits, then he still has experience he can gain from boss kill. Yep, alright, whatever. So much for giving it to Norn. Great. 6 silver lances isn't enough to hold us. Something is probably going horribly wrong. Shadow Dragon have rerolls for blank levels? Nope. It does not. I believe its bad level protection is that it dynamically adjusts the growths, but like that still doesn't make it feel any better. And it only really works if you're behind enough or long enough for those dynamic growths to kick in. I'm not sure what the formula is on them, but it's definitely one of those things that probably feels less than ideal. It'd be worse. It wasn't 2 rolls and both blank. Yeah, but okay, well, I think that's it for shopping, and because we killed McCallus, we stopped most of the reinforcements from spawning. I really didn't want to deal with same turn swarm spawns. They're extremely obnoxious. It does put us in an awkward spot here, though. This map can take quite a while, depending. We also need to basically benchmark Norn to not die to this. Also, she needs to be able to kill him. Actually, wow, okay, so her magic is same as Lena's. I think that Suina is a little bit behind, but not that much, so compared to other times I did this with Lena, it shouldn't be... Magic-wise, it shouldn't be a problem. Res-wise, Lena has an 8-point lead, so it's a lot scarier for Norn. It's like, if we bury her Pure Water Lena, she just doesn't take damage from Gardev. But an Norn with a Speed Wing is still taking 9 damage. So even though she's not getting doubled, it's still a bit spooky. Scarness Res 10. So as it is, Starlight does 14. Definitely suboptimal, that's for sure. Oh boy, the Thorns are up to 16 crit now, too. Even 17 with a stupid bishop. So yeah, compared to Lena, we also need to make up for the luck deficit. Although we only need 2 Goddess Icons. Well, quote-unquote only. Actually, wait, I also didn't account for Tome rank. Because normally when I do this with Lena, we have C tomes. So there should be 1 more attack here. Do normally, so... Or actually 2 more. No, wait, because Lena doesn't have C here, so... Norn would actually have 26 attack. Same as Thoron, I suppose. At 16. Which kills them if it's a crit. We would need 4 Spirit Dust to be 2 hitting him. Of course, the problem is there's a bunch of fortifies, too. Fortifies and physics. We could make this a team effort between Lena and Norn, though. Because they could trade it around. If I get the arms roll to Lena, she'd be able to attack and at least chip a little bit. So that way we're not counting on a crit and we can compensate for the enemy healing him. It's not like anyone else really needs the arms roll. some of my units would, I guess, get to C rank swords for funny one out stuff, but like, really, for C swords? Otherwise, they're all just like A rank in their primary weapon type anyway. Damage are we looking at from the storms? Okay, we can probably get Norn to the point of not really caring too much of that either. Really only picked up 1 talisman? Ouch. What's the treasure in here? There's another talisman. So if we pick that up and give it to Norn, we can get it a 14 res, which becomes 21 with pure water. So yeah, that definitely feels a lot more palatable against Garneth and his goons. So maybe we'll bench Wendell Julian. Use Forest as a berry. Because otherwise, if Marth has to go with it, he starts over here, so he's losing like 6 movement. Actually, and if I carry something on Julian, I can just send it to Convoy on Marth. Let's see this. There we go. And that way we don't have to walk it back, so Horus can actually participate. This definitely looks a lot better for Wolf now. He's not as strong as Sedgar, but he's still fairly fast and he's a 22 defense hero. So this might be where we convert to. Continue, or using him as a hero going forward. we have to actually have something equipped. Yeah. Alright, so... Forgot that Shadow Drain. I don't remember if New Mystery is all... The Arm Scroll and Shadow Drain here for sure. It still does the classic, only the weapon you have equipped. Because at least, I don't remember how New Mysteries works, but once we get to Awakening, using an Arm Scroll just increases every rank. Or rather, everything that your current class has as a proficiency. The Arm Scroll works the same way in New Mystery as it does here. Okay, so Awakening revolutionized it by making it less of a pain to work with. And allowing it to hit staves. We need to make room for you, Mia. Alright, well, sorry, Hearted, your bench for now. Oh yeah, I guess we need to bring Tiki, otherwise we can't trigger the thing, too. Alright, well, I guess we're not bringing Julian, and... we will have Horace, go loot stuff then. Use the Master Key. get slots so we can do this. So we definitely need at least the one speed ring. We're giving her the talisman. Two Gaidens icons to not die to Thorons. Or get horribly wounded. I guess with the Talisman in pure water, she would only lose, you know, just like 90% of her life instead of instantly dying. Not so rare Awakening W, indeed. I guess we'll use the Seraphim on her to give us some leeway. She will snort all the dust. So do we want to give her more skill books? Or secret books for skill? Because it's very much not a... It's not a stat booster that's very in high demand. Everyone else on the team generally just has good skill. Even Ymir showed up with a ton of skill, even before accounting for Hero giving a pretty big skill boost. So like, we could just simply give Norin all the skill books and see if we can crit fish too, so that Lena doesn't have to step in. And if she does, well she does, but otherwise, plenty crit fishing. I didn't realize you actually tried to go back to bed. That makes sense. Oh wow, Sage has a 28 skill cap. Alright, I guess we don't have to worry about overflowing that. So yeah, you know what? We're gonna give all the secret books to Norin because it's funny. There you go, 22. It's probably fairly impossible that she gets skill on every single level up going forward, but it would be funny to see her hit the cap. Oh wait, you're right. I don't need to. I don't need to bring Tiki and get her killed here. Although it might be a bit easier to do it here. I guess it'd be less annoying in terms of deployment slots to use one for her in the next map. I guess... Well, it's not like we really need the swatch here either. But, Master keys might be nice in game, but also we might just not. We might not be too concerned about trying to open the doors. We might just only deploy who we need to kill Medeus and Corbin. Yeah. It would probably be easier here. So yeah, we'll go ahead as planned and have her probably just stand in front of the bishop or whatever who's on the seize point, unequipped, and get owned. Classic Medeus warp strats, sorta, yeah. I might try to set up something like really silly with someone who's on like one of the dragons. We'll see. His cap skill great. He's a sword master. We're curious, although it probably doesn't deal that much damage. But I might try to see if he can manage it. It would be pretty funny and suitable. Well, yeah, you can energy drop to get his strength back, but like, Medeus just has a bajillion defense, so even at cap strength. It's like 23 strength plus Mercurius and A swords would still probably barely do damage. Like, what's Medeus' stats here? Yeah, it's 25 defense and then it's sitting on a throne, so it's 27 effective defense. I think. And he has 30 speed, so we can't even double him with a sword master. How much is Mercurius? So it's 18. I believe Swordmaster still caps at 23. No, it's 24 in this game. Alright, so we get to 24. So that's 42 plus A-rank swords puts it at 47. So that's... Actually, is that... Are we really actually doing 22 damage? I suppose I'm probably too used to do Mystery and Lunatic Medeus that just takes funny tickle damage from Mercurius. What? I think he has like 40 defense there. Yeah, Lunatic. Okay, that's the differential. New Mystery Lunatic Medeus has 40 defense plus the sigil. So that's why Mercurius tickles him. It definitely seems more realistic here if we crit. Because 22 damage is taking a third of his health. So if Ray crits at any point, Medeus simply explodes. So yeah, I might actually set up for that, since we can't safely do it with Norn. 30 speed means that Norn gets doubled. And she's probably not surviving. It's part of, like, the problem of why Marth does Jackal in the endgame, too. Marth caps at 25 speed and then gets doubled by the 30 speed Medeus. Oh no. So yeah, we can do Swordmaster Frey over there. And because the sword rank is already pretty high, the Swordmaster request just caps it out. So yeah, 2 energy drops. And he can just go in and try to get the crit. And he's capped skill anyway, so... Does Mercurius have a crit bonus? It does. So 24. Yeah, actually seems kind of reasonable as long as we can clear the other garbage out around Medeus. We can let Frey fight him for a bit until he crits. I think that would be a pretty fitting end to the run once we get there. But I don't think anyone else is going to be at a similar level of capability. Like, maybe Athena? There's no way Horus or Ymir can do it. Yeah, Athena would probably be looking somewhat similarly, just with a few more stat boosters. But I think given that Frey's being kind of the MVP out of the entire set of Prologue and Gaiden units, I would rather give it to Frey. Nah, I'm not gonna set it up now. It's not like I'll actually forget. Plus, we're maybe a few maps too far back before to even consider actually doing that right now. Because, like, Frey can also simply gain the strength too and not need more energy drops and whatever. So there's no need to just throw stat boosters at him when it's not needed right now. Especially since this is Fighting Garnif is, I guess, Norin's peak. So we gave her the Sapphire Suits because she needs it for Garnif, but Medeus isn't for several maps. But, yeah, I guess we're actually closing in on the end. I don't know how long 24X will be, but I imagine not more than an hour. This map can take a bit, so this will probably be an hour and maybe some change, especially since we're not using Lena. So we'll have to be a bit more careful about fighting Garnif. Then we'll probably try to farm out the experience on the next map. Because I sort of want to see if we can get Horus and Ymir some more levels to actually do stuff. So we'll see what we can do there. So yeah, that's probably an hour-ish, maybe two. So we might actually finish like midway through Sunday. I guess I'll have to make sure that I'm prepared to move on to the next run then. I guess cutting Michaelis down as quickly as we did definitely shortened things by a bit, since we cut off all of his reinforcements that way. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go back to 3 houses for another round. Thinking of doing a goofy thing that revolves around forcing the hidden talents. Because a lot of the combat arts and abilities that come from it are really bad. So what if we tried to force builds that revolved around those bad combat arts and bad abilities? For simplicity's sake, I'll probably allow just any hidden talents, so it balances out the army a bit, but I'll probably try to focus more on the bad ones. Actually, I mean, Quads is still... What is his? So I think his gives a not so great combat art. What is it? Yeah, Diamond Axe, which is pretty meh. Actually, I think it's more than that. Diamond Axe is... Is it? Yeah, Diamond Axe is a minus 20 hit combat art. It is hot garbage, holy shit. I'll probably bring the wolves in for something. I might bring them in as filler slots, but I think I'll require still running the houses just to keep the runs differentiated. Especially since, well, it's kind of pointless if we don't use everyone and their budding talents from the houses we choose. But the wolves do have some kind of bad ones. Like, Exhaustive Strike with Happy is pretty meme. So I'll probably try to find a place to slot that in. Maybe you only get the wolf most aligned with each house. I mean, the only one that's like very clearly aligned with a specific house is Bulbous, because he just wants all the golden deer supports. But the other three, I seem to recall having somewhat more distributed supports. Time of accident to abandoning enemies with their void buses from mastery is something. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot to fix up Claude's hit there. Fortunately, we'll be allowed to use like actual battalions this time. So we can at least pick up some of like the plus 30 hit battalions to make it not completely awful. But yeah, that's what we'll probably be starting if we have enough time on Sunday and continuing through onto Monday. Yeah, that's what we're looking like for Fire Emblem stuff. I guess that also means we'll be continuing that run into Friday. I guess I'll have to figure out which house I want to do first, although you can always do the usual, start it off with the golden deer. Grind hit plus 20 from Archer just to even it out. I mean, I normally get hit plus 20, but I still need to lay out the rules, but the rules I'm working on technically won't allow Quad to go into Archer. So that'll probably create some issues. Yeah, pretty much class restrictions based on the talent. Like I said, I still need to work out the exact wording, but more or less boils down to that. And then aside from that, I guess Wednesday we'll be doing Code of the Burger King shenanigans for April Fools. Checking that out and seeing what kind of shit posting is going on in there. And Thursday we'll be doing Uma stuff. Round 2 of the CM should be going at that point, and I guess depending on how the actual progression is going, I'll be either frantically trying to rebuild runners on the team, or just, I guess, doing more team trial stuff. Anyhow, so I don't really have any raid targets, so I'll just call it here. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope to see you on Sunday to pick this up again, and have yourselves a good night.